When life gives you a second chance, a story of unbelievable inner strength. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes it takes us down paths we never imagined walking. There are moments when everything seems to crumble, when we feel like the world has turned its back on us. But in those darkest moments, life can surprise us, offering something extraordinary, a second chance. This is a story of hope, resilience, and the incredible power of the human spirit. A story for anyone who's ever faced defeat, who's felt broken and lost, who thought they had reached the end. It's a story for the fighters, the dreamers, and those who believe in rising from the ashes. Imagine hitting rock bottom, everything you held dear slipping through your fingers. Maybe it's a missed opportunity, a dream that fell apart, or a painful loss that seems unbearable. It's in moments like these that we question ourselves. Can I keep going? Do I have what it takes to rise again? But here's the thing, every setback, every heartbreak, every failure isn't the end. It's just the beginning of something new. A second chance isn't just about starting over, it's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. It's a chance to rewrite your story, to defy the odds, and to prove to yourself that you are more powerful than your circumstances. In this journey of life, we all stumble. We all face challenges that test our limits. But when life gives you a second chance, it's offering you something precious, an opportunity to rise, to transform pain into strength, and to turn failures into fuel for your greatest triumphs. Think about the people who've defied the odds, those who've survived unimaginable hardships and come out the other side stronger, braver, and more resilient than before. Their stories remind us that no matter how hard life gets, no matter how far we fall, we have the power within us to get back up. So if you're at a crossroads, wondering if you have the strength to keep going, remember this: you do. You have survived everything life has thrown at you so far, and you're still standing. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. Life is not defined by the moments that knock us down, but by the moments we choose to stand back up. When life gives you a second chance, grab it with both hands. Let it ignite a fire in your heart, a fire that says, I will not be defeated. This is your time, your second chance. And with it, you can create something beautiful, something lasting. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who've never been knocked down. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. Let your story be one of courage, hope, and unbreakable spirit. Embrace your second chance and show the world just how powerful you truly are. When life gives you a second chance, a story of unbelievable inner strength. Mark had always been the kind of person who followed the rules, played it safe, and lived a quiet, comfortable life. He had a stable job, a loving family, and a small circle of close friends. But one fateful day, everything changed. It was a crisp autumn morning when Mark received the news that would shake his entire world. A routine doctor's visit turned into a nightmare. He was diagnosed with a rare, aggressive form of cancer. The prognosis wasn't good. The doctors told him there was only a small chance of survival, and even that would require grueling rounds of treatment. At first, Mark was in disbelief. How could this happen to him? He was healthy, young, and had a future full of dreams. The weight of the diagnosis crushed him. He fell into a deep despair, unable to comprehend how quickly life could spiral out of control. As the weeks passed, Mark started his treatments. Each day felt like a battle, and there were moments when he didn't think he could take it anymore. The physical pain was overwhelming, but the emotional toll was even greater. He watched his body weaken, and his once positive outlook on life faded into fear and uncertainty. One night, lying in his hospital bed after a particularly difficult round of chemotherapy, Mark had a moment of clarity. He realized that he had a choice to make: either give up and let the disease define him, or fight with everything he had left. The second chance life had given him, no matter how small, was still a chance. And that night, he decided to fight. Mark threw himself into the battle for his life with a renewed sense of purpose. He embraced every day as if it were his last, determined to make the most of the time he had, whether it was weeks, months, or years. He leaned on his family, found support in his friends, and began to see the beauty in even the simplest moments: a sunrise, a shared meal, a laugh. Months passed, and against all odds, Mark's condition started to improve. The treatments, which had seemed so brutal and hopeless at first, began to work. The cancer was shrinking. His doctors were stunned by his progress, calling it nothing short of miraculous. But Mark knew that it wasn't just the medicine, it was his will to live, his refusal to give up, that had carried him through the darkest moments. As the years went on, Mark found himself in remission. The battle had left him scarred, both physically and emotionally, but it had also transformed him. He wasn't the same man who had walked into that doctor's office all those months ago. He was stronger, more resilient, and filled with a deep sense of gratitude for the second chance he had been given. With this new lease on life, Mark made a promise to himself. He wouldn't waste a single day. He quit his stable job, which no longer fulfilled him, and pursued his lifelong dream of becoming a teacher. He wanted to inspire others, to share his story of resilience and hope with anyone who needed to hear it. He knew that if he could survive the unimaginable, then maybe, just maybe, he could help others find their own inner strength. Mark's second chance wasn't just about surviving cancer, it was about living with purpose, embracing every challenge, and understanding that life's greatest battles often reveal the strength we never knew we had. His story is a testament to the incredible power of the human spirit. When life gives you a second chance, it's not just an opportunity to start over, it's a chance to become someone you never thought you could be. Someone stronger, braver, and more alive than ever before. After beating cancer, Mark's life took on a new vibrancy. The world seemed to unfold before him in ways he had never noticed before. Every breath felt like a gift, every sunrise a blessing, and every small interaction with others became an opportunity for connection and understanding. But while his physical battle was over, the emotional journey was just beginning. Mark's transition back to normal life wasn't as smooth as he had imagined. The scars of his illness, both visible and hidden, had changed him in ways that weren't immediately obvious. Although his body was healing, his mind still carried the weight of the trauma. There were nights when he woke up in a cold sweat, reliving the fear of his diagnosis. He would find himself staring into the mirror, looking at the reflection of a man who had survived but wasn't sure how to move forward. But Mark had learned something profound during his battle with cancer. Strength doesn't always come in big, bold moves. Sometimes it's in the quiet decision to wake up each day and put one foot in front of the other, even when it's hard. It's in the willingness to embrace the unknown, to face fear head-on, and to trust that something good can come out of even the darkest moments. Determined to rebuild his life, Mark threw himself into his new teaching career. He started at a local high school, teaching English and life skills to teenagers who were at that pivotal age where they were discovering who they were and where they wanted to go in life. Mark saw so much of himself in those young students, full of potential, but also grappling with their own fears and insecurities. He knew he had something important to offer them, beyond just academic lessons. He often shared parts of his story with his students, not to gain sympathy, but to show them that setbacks are a part of life, and it's how you respond to them that matters. His classroom became a safe space where students felt understood and inspired. They came to him not just for help with essays or homework, but for advice on life, for someone who would listen without judgment. One student in particular stood out. Sarah was a quiet, withdrawn girl who rarely spoke up in class. Mark noticed that she seemed burdened, as if carrying a weight too heavy for her young shoulders. After several weeks of observing her, he gently encouraged her to stay after class one day. At first, Sarah was hesitant, but something in Mark's voice, his kindness and genuine concern, made her open up. She shared her story. Her father had left the family when she was a child, and her mother had recently been diagnosed with depression. Sarah had taken on the role of caretaker for her younger siblings while trying to keep up with schoolwork. The pressure was crushing her, but she didn't know how to ask for help. She felt trapped, much like Mark had felt during his darkest days. Mark's heart broke as he listened, but he knew he had an opportunity to make a difference. He told Sarah about his own struggles, about the moments when he felt like giving up, but found the strength to keep going. He reassured her that it was okay to ask for help, that strength didn't mean carrying everything alone. He helped her find a counselor at school, and over time, Sarah's burden lightened. She started to smile more, to engage in class, and to take pride in her work. Mark saw a spark reignite in her, a spark he knew all too well. His connection with Sarah was just one of many such moments. Over the years, Mark became a mentor and guide to countless students, helping them navigate the challenges of adolescence and the uncertainties of life. His own experience with illness had taught him that life could be unfair and unpredictable, but it had also shown him that people were capable of extraordinary resilience. But Mark's journey didn't stop with his students. He felt a deep need to give back to the community that had supported him during his illness. He began volunteering at a local cancer center where he sat with patients undergoing chemotherapy, sharing his story and offering hope. For many, Mark was living proof that survival was possible, that life could go on after cancer. He listened to their fears, their frustrations, and their dreams, and in doing so, he helped them find their own strength. One day, while volunteering, Mark met a woman named Emma. She was a nurse at the cancer center, and their paths crossed regularly as he visited with patients. Emma was compassionate, kind, and had an energy about her that was contagious. Over time, they developed a deep friendship, bonded by their shared desire to help others. Emma had her own story of resilience. She had lost her mother to cancer years earlier, and that experience had driven her to dedicate her life to caring for others. She admired Mark's strength and openness, and slowly, their friendship blossomed into something more. For the first time in a long while, Mark felt the stirrings of love again. It was unexpected, but it felt right. Emma brought light and laughter into Mark's life. She understood his past without him having to explain it, and together, they began to build a future. They spent their weekends hiking, traveling to small towns, and simply enjoying each other's company. Mark hadn't realized how much he had missed the simple joys of life until Emma reminded him of them. As the years went on, Mark reflected on how far he had come. He had gone from facing the brink of death to living a life filled with purpose, love, and gratitude. His second chance at life had been more than just survival. It had been a transformation. He had become a better version of himself, more compassionate, more present, and more aware of the preciousness of each day. Mark's story is a testament to the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Life had knocked him down, but it had also given him a second chance. And with that chance, he had not only rebuilt his own life, but had touched the lives of so many others along the way. In the end, Mark knew that life wasn't about avoiding challenges or hardship. It was about facing them with courage, finding strength in vulnerability, and choosing every day to live with purpose and love. And that, he realized, was the true gift of a second chance.